I'm Daniel, co-founder and CEO at Kleerr. I'm going to be giving you a quick overview on how e-commerce brands are leveraging Kleerr's attribution engine to capture way better data, connect ads to sales, and see the whole buyer's journey without data getting lost or adding complexity to your life. Now, Kleerr isn't going to be a fit for you if you care about clicks and vanity metrics. We're really focused on what's driving performance and sales. So one of the things we're going to cover here is how we're helping you to find 20 to 40% more data that is basically being lost or hidden by ad platforms or iOS updates and data getting scrubbed away. Then we're showing you how we're tracking end-to-end every ad, every touch point, all the way to sales and across customer journeys. We're going to show you the full customer 360. So on an aggregated level, what are all the people doing before they come to a sale or on a repeat sale to a single person, and what are they doing and what are they looking at on the page? So we can really get really granular because we do first-party data tracking and analytics all through our platform. And of course, I need to emphasize that it's really easy to set up. There's no code required. Let's get started here in our web analytics tab. So this is an overview of your web traffic, and we have recommendations and insights. We won't get into that right now. What I really wanted to focus on here is the direct traffic. So as you probably know, there's iOS updates and privacy updates, and now Google and Chrome and everyone else are starting to basically clamp down in terms for privacy. And what actually is happening is everyone's keeping the data for themselves. And that includes ad platforms. You might have noticed that your direct traffic is going up and up incrementally. And it looks good because that means someone's going to your website directly. That's great, Kleerr.com. That means, brand awareness. But what's happening is that, when you're adding UTM parameters or when you're trying to track certain ads or events, or even from ad platforms, they do that automatically now. A lot of that is getting automatically scrubbed out from the data. So that data doesn't even arrive when it comes to Shopify. They're even clearing out referrers, a lot of technical stuff, but it's basically metadata that should be coming across is getting left behind. And even a lot of the ad platforms now, like Facebook and Reddit, and all the apps really are starting to open up any kind of ad or click in their own proprietary browser. So while someone is coming to your Shopify store or your e-commerce store, you're losing all of the tracking metadata that would have come with the ad, but the ad platform is retaining it. So they're kind of hiding it from you. They're hiding it from your analytics, and they're trying to make you dependent on their platform specifically. So with everyone doing that, it gets harder and harder to track that multi-session journey. Where are people coming from? Where was their first touch point? Where was the second? Where did email fit into this before it led to our final sale? So that's what we're really focused on here, is helping you to dissect that. And we can fan that out. And we're then showing you where do they really come from? Which referrer actually sent them? Which campaign actually led to your traffic and led to your sales? And the other things we do is we do lots of little things like shortcuts. So we're ranking the quality of your traffic and things like that. So you can at a glance know, all right, this product launch campaign is not doing very well. And we do that. We score it basically through conversions, through sales, purchases, which ones are actually leading to that. But also, sometimes you're getting traffic from regions you don't even sell in, and you'd probably want to rank that as a 0 and not spend any more time on that. So we do a lot of that behind the scenes for you. Now, you might be wondering how we're doing this, and we do it really through specialized link tracking. And we do it through our server-side tracking, essentially. So a lot of the link data gets lost, but what we do is we're able to keep some of that link data active that we can then track behind the scenes and on the server, knowing exactly where an ad came from. So we can link all of your ads directly, and then we can track it better. So we can recapture that, 20 to 40% of that traffic that gets scrubbed away. This is where a lot of the magic is taking place. This is your e-commerce dashboard, where you can get a really nice overview of all of your financials on the business. You can know, again, like products that are selling well or refunds and reasons, fall off distributions from which pages or products are falling off the most. But I would say probably the most important thing here is the attribution. So this is telling you which channels are actually leading to sales. And you can use different attribution models. So whether that's first touch, so when someone first comes to your site, or linear, last touch, whichever one you want, you can basically run that model and select by, refer or campaign or ads, which are leading to actual sales in your business. Now, the nice thing about this too is we, again, give you some kind of we crunch the numbers for you to try to make it easier. All right, which ones are doing pretty well, you should continue, which ones you should double down, which ones are kind of like suboptimal, could be optimized, and which you should really cut. So this will help you know, all right, which of these are actually leading to real sales in the business across sessions. So we're not just doing last touch, which is often what a lot of platforms will do, or which is what Shopify will do, but you can get to know, all right, well, how is our email campaigns? How are they performing? And what are we actually adding, or what are we expensing for those? So in the channels, for example, you could have email, and here we have cut back, and you can actually add your marketing expenses in here as well. So you can get really good idea and a pulse on what the real ROI is across these different channels, and know whether or not they're worth it or not. So it's a really powerful tool, and this can also be, it's aware of refunds and things as well. So we have a way to see, all right, which channels are leading to the most refunds, if that's something you want to know, and where fall off is happening, all those types of things. Now, this also ties into our, what we talked about being able to track across multiple sessions on both an individual and an aggregated basis. So this is an example of what an individual might be doing on your website across sessions. So you can see here, the first, the last, and how long it's been since they've come. So this is a really long time ago for this person, how much time across the board they've spent on your site. And you can get a sense of all their orders and abandonments, and you can see which pages they're visiting most, what content they're engaging with most, what sources or where are they coming from. But now this is a really exciting part, is you can look at their journey. So you can say, all right, the first session they ever did, it was on a desktop. These are the UTM parameters and sources. This was the ad it was from, and this was their journey. So they abandoned cart on the first session. We did an email campaign, retargeted them, and they came back and actually made a purchase. Now this gets even more powerful when we apply this across all customers at an aggregated level. Our attribution tab is where you can see that aggregated journey across users, across different sessions, and how things are kind of shaping up. So you can sort by different conversion events. So you could say, all right, I want to know people who signed up for a form, signed up to our newsletter, or I want to see actual purchases. You can actually segment by different audiences that you've set up, and they're super easy to set up, by the way. And down here, you can have another attribution card here based on whichever conversion event. So if you want to know an attribution to a particular event that's not a sale, maybe a specific form submit or a specific cart abandonment or things like that, you can actually get really nuanced here and see which sources, which sessions, which refers, which campaigns are kind of best or most attributed to that. Now, a really cool thing here is being able to see this aggregated journey map. So this one here is showing, okay, only 7% of people are converting on the first session, and that the most are coming after session 10. That would be a very long session for a lot of websites, or a long sales cycle for a lot of sites. But this is an example, and you can see actually how they flow from session to session. It's a lot of data, so we know that. So behind the scenes, we're crunching the numbers for you, saying, all right, well, here's the journey. What does that mean? Here are some key insights for you. And based on those insights, here are some recommendations. So you don't even need to necessarily go through and crunch all the data yourself. We do that for you. The last thing to go over here is really just how easy it is to get set up and get started. The Shopify integration is literally click, approve, and we're going to start importing your products, importing your history. Same with the ads. So we're doing it all behind the scenes for you. There's no code required at all. The other things that are really easy are things like creating custom audiences. Maybe you want to know what wholesalers are doing on your website. So you can really easily tag them and categorize your analytics and view them by these segments or by these audience buckets. So all of this is like one click, no code required, which is really exciting for a lot of users. The question for you is, what's next? Now you can book a full-length demo with us. We're happy to go over your use case and see exactly, how this could benefit you or what things you're struggling with, and if this would be a good fit. You could try it out for free for 14 days. There's literally nothing to lose. And on top of that, for our e-commerce brands, we're giving you a free ads audit. So you're going to get a report after you sign up and set up all your integrations. We're going to be able to pull your ads data and let you know, all right, what's working, what's not, and what you should focus on. And that's all for free. So there's nothing to lose. Give it a shot and reach out. We're happy to connect. Okay, take care.